come out and play.
Welcome. Yes, you're in the new Providence. When niggas get to snapping like they got no common sense. When we approach with confidence, we go with confidence. Cause I'm consistent enough to throw the hardest to the fence.
And yeah, bitch, I'm on top of my game. So we can take my picture, put it in a superstar frame.
Now I get steady looks, cause I got heavy push. A playmaker with the rock, no Reggie Bush. Yeah, the Betty look kinda like a heavy book. They ready shook cause they already heard the hook.
Hey, pour it up, pour it up.
Yeah. Beer Bros, we back in here. Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy VO the Face in the building one time with my boy Jay Reezy Rose. What's up, Reese?
She don't want no puppy. She want a big dog.
And we here to deliver what she wants, but more importantly, what our fans want, you know what I'm saying, which is normally what she wants, you know what I'm saying? We're pleasers and we're here to please. So let's get this one popping, man. We in our bag today, man. We're just gonna kind of dive into some of the topics and we're gonna start with some of our segments that we haven't had the time to do in a while. But let's get this popping, man. This is Flush Sports, this is Beer Bros. And one of the segments we like to do is a day late and a dollar short. Let's kind of get into this one and just talk about bets or subjects or events that we were just a day late and a dollar short on. Jay Reeves, I was thinking about all the coverage this week on SHEDEUR and his starting performance last week that we might have been a day late and a dollar short on not doing a video on SHEDEUR last week. What do you think about SHEDEUR Sanders' debut? And let's kind of just clean it up because we've had a week to talk about it now.
Yeah, man. Well, coming out of CU, man, he was a really polarizing player, man. SHEDEUR Sanders put up a great college career at CU with some really good numbers, man. The thing about watching him play start for the Cleveland Browns last week, it was really good to see, man. I mean, that slide into the fifth round when he really should have got picked up in the first. He really showcased his talents out there on the field, man. He had some really nice throws, couple of incompletions. He could have cleaned that up, but it's a little unfortunate. This week, he was set to start, and he ended up with an oblique strain. So we won't be seeing SHEDEUR Sanders this week.
Yeah, they're playing the defending Super Bowl champions. It's just preseason. It does not count, but it definitely means something. I kind of feel bad for the young brother getting hurt and not being able to get some snaps this week. Obviously, he was playing this week in practice. They had some joint practices, and it seems like a lot of the NFL teams and structures now are looking like that joint practice is almost equivalent to game time. I do know he was picking Jalen Hurts' brain over the week. Jalen talked about some interactions that him and SHEDEUR had. So I think he's on the right trajectory. Did you see the incident that happened with him and a reporter after the game, Jay Reese?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Nah, well, I guess he just went up to a Cleveland reporter and was talking about you never have anything nice to say about me and yada yada yada. He kind of confronted him. However, it came out that the guy actually approached SHEDEUR, and then SHEDEUR just kind of let him know, like, why don't you ever have anything good to say about me? The conversation ended really well, but some people have looked at it as like a warning sign for SHEDEUR this week. Like, is he not have that leadership? Is he gonna have some of those uncomfortable prime qualities that makes him just call out the media? What do you think about SHEDEUR and his I don't think it's confrontational to call people on their shit.
Oh, man. People got to come with that respect. Number one, he's been disrespected ever since, like I said, he slid to the fifth round. Basically, teams didn't want to pick him up because his father's Deion Sanders, and they had fear for their head coaching job. Deion Sanders coming for it, man. Here's the thing. I don't really like how Cleveland's treating him either. He was the only one out of four quarterbacks to not get a single starter's rep in practice, but yet he's out there starting the game. I feel like out of Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and that boy Pretty Joe Flacco, SHEDEUR Sanders is your best option. Cleveland Browns are not going anywhere this year, so you might as well see what you have in a first round talent in SHEDEUR Sanders, man. But back to your question, like what you said, man. Hey, man, you better respect me, man. You better give me that respect.
hmm Yeah, if you popping off, you got all that to say on the radio, critical of me when I feel like your team got great value. If anybody should be happy that they have me as a team in Cleveland that has struggled with making the right quarterback pick since Manziel. You know, they had Baker and then kind of washed him away, and now he's flourished with another team. They had Deshaun Watson. He's just kind of faded into oblivion, and it's just been really bad for what Cleveland has put out as a product and whatnot. And I hope that type of stink, because that type of stench, that's contagious. That's like you touch a musty person, and then for the rest of the day, you smell onions. Like, ugh, that type of Cleveland stink is contagious, man. So I'm really wondering if Shador's going to be able to shake that Cleveland stink and where he's able to go with his career. But let's talk about some careers that are budding and then some careers that have kind of been in the NFL and they've proven themselves and they're now looking for a good contract. We're going to talk about a day late and a dollar short in a real way because are these teams a couple dollars short on these contracts? There's three people that are notable that are still kind of withholding their services from their team. We got Scary Terry McLaurin, we got Trey Hendrickson, and Micah Parson. What do you think about Micah Parson, Trey Hendrickson, and Scary Terry not having deals? And what team will this affect the most going into the regular season?
Trey Hendrickson, he's the best defensive player on a really sorry defense for the Cincinnati Bengals. They really need to lock this man up for the next few years to be the anchor to their defense. I kind of feel the same way about Micah Parsons, man, because they really struggled on defense, and Michael Parsons was a really bright spot on the defense, and he's the best defensive player. If they keep messing around with Michael Parsons, don't be surprised. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Don't be surprised he comes to the Denver Broncos, and that defense is going to turn up if we have Michael Parsons. The thing with is he wants that wide receiver top dollar money. Now, he definitely does deserve that. The only thing is, he's a little bit on the older side. It's kind of funny, man, like to see people say, like, oh, and you hit 30 and all of a sudden now you're old. But Terry McLaurin has had nothing but massive production, 6,000-yard seasons, back to back to back to back. And it's,
Mhm.
man, like this is the best quarterback that he had in Jaden Daniels. He dropped 13 touchdowns, a career high, a real outlier season. But being said, man, they got to get that man's money on the table. It is definitely time to pay Terry McLaurin because without him, I don't know what you really have outside of Debo Samuels, man. We got a couple young rookies out there. You still got Zach Ertz running around with his old ass. But you need Terry McLaurin in the fold if this team is going to go anywhere this year.
Yeah, I mean, you got Scary Terry, who's definitely been producing off the charts, and he's only 29 right now. He is pushing 30, but you would look at him to be able to get another big contract and cash in just because how important he is. If they want to see Jaden make a sophomore leap and not a sophomore slump, they got to definitely look to getting his weapons in place. Like you said, they do have a decent backfield. They still got Eckler, they still got Brian Robinson Jr., and they're looking solid over there. But we're just wondering, are they going to be able to take care of home first and take care of Scary Terry? Because that's going to have a direct effect. He had so many walk-off touchdowns last year, as a commander, he was winning games. So if you think about a wide receiver that could directly win games, well, it's that person that had walk-off touchdowns last year, and Scary Terry is him. You know what I'm saying? So let's dive into this. Some day lates and dollar shorts. Let's talk about week one losers. And a lot of the conversation centered around Caleb Williams and his DNP. He did not play for your Chicago Bears. Is that kind of alarming? Does he look to play this weekend? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? And what do you got to say about it?
Last I checked on RotoWire, he was scheduled to suit up this weekend. Caleb Williams really needs to have some development with their new head coach in the building, man. Because if he doesn't do it this year, Chicago Bears unfortunately will be moving on to another first round quarterback. I would say in the next couple years, we're going to give him some time. We're going to see if he can work with a new offensive coordinator, new head coach, and the boy Ben Johnson, who's bringing that powerhouse offense over from the Detroit Dookie Lions. Man, I can't believe the Lions have actually jumped to a whole nother level. Now the thing is, can the Chicago Bears get there, man? Romo Dunze coming into his second year. DJ Moore has always been a stalwart. I'm telling you, man, this is possibly still not the year, man. You know it takes a while to work out all the kinks and everything to get rolling. You may see huge production down the stretch, but it may be too late for the Chicago Bears to make the playoffs. I do have them making the playoff leap, not this year, but next year. Caleb Williams really has to develop.
Man, well, you're able to be patient like that because you got two teams. Chicago's just your B team. Your A team is the Broncos, and Bo Nix did play this past weekend. You know what I'm saying, and didn't really see a ton of success. What do you think about Bo Nix in his debut with the preseason? The Broncos offense just kind of looked all out of sorts. They weren't really able to get much going. It was still a game that we won heavy handedly, but that was a lot because of a lot would happen on the back end as far as when the starters came out. Bo Nix was very unproductive. What is your thought? Are you concerned about the sophomore slump that could be coming for Bo Nix?
Not concerned at all, man. Bo Nix is a baller. Bo Nix the baller. Let me go ahead and break this down for you. It is preseason. And I mean, like, we still put our best foot forward. We have a really solid defense. You're going to be able to hide a lot of Bo Nix's warts behind that defense. At the same time, he really doesn't have any, man. We're just working out the kinks on offense. We got a lot of key players in the fold. We paid Cortland Sutton. Marvin Mims is getting consistent snaps. The boy, hey, Franklin, he's ready to step up this year. We got RJ Harvey in the fold. J.K. Dobbins, Evan Ingram. The list goes on and on. We really do have a star-studded team. I'm not worried about the Broncos at all. You may see them put the hammer down this weekend. Who we play? The Arizona Cardinals. They may get
Mhm.
scared, but it's just preseason, man. When the real bullets start flying, Sean Payton's going to have this team all the way together, man. And we're about to be really explosive and really exciting this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good year. As a Broncos fan, I know the division is pumped up. It's the AFC West, the Golden West, the Hall of Fame jackets all throughout the coaching bracket out here. But I do believe we still have one of the most talented teams. Our free agents that we added with Greenlaw and Ufunga and, just Evan Ingram. I think a lot of people forget that we did get that Joker that Sean Payton wanted, and we'll see how he's able to use him. Hopefully, he's a lot more Jimmy Graham than the type of tight end production we've been seeing since Julius Thomas. But I would like to just see production out of that position and a position that you really could count on and grow on moving forward. But let's go ahead and transition from the day late and the dollar short segment. We're gonna go right into this other conversation me and Jay Reeves was kind of just having. And we like, man, when you see somebody, you like them and you drafting, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta take that leap of faith, you know what I'm saying? So let's talk about taking that leap of faith. Let's talk about ADPs, where people are ranking, and if you would overdraft and take that leap of faith, or if you just gonna kind of, chill out, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to chat right now. We'll go to the Love Island, don't pull me for no chat. But yeah, fucking let me know about some of these players. We'll start with the quarterbacks. We got Cam Ward, whose ADP is in the 150s. Cam Ward could be solid, but he's not ranked in the top 25 projected quarterbacks. What do you think he'll do this year? And would you feel comfortable reaching for a quarterback in the 14th, 15th round if you just went skill position heavy in the first rounds?
Mm, I would not feel comfortable. First off, you have to know your league settings. And I want to say specifically in your league, it is real key that you snatch up your quarterback early. I mean, like, fortunate for me, I waited late, scooped up Jaden Daniels, but all the quarterbacks were off the board by this point. As far as Cam Ward goes, I would have to pair him up with a solid vet. I would say, like, if you can get a Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, maybe even a Dak Prescott if he fell that late, just to keep Cam Ward on the bench and see if he can get a little bit more seasoning. Now, I will say this about Cam Ward: he's super explosive. He's a gunslinger. and he has that I don't give a fuck mentality. He is definitely going to be on that money ball to Calvin Ridley, man. So, am I waiting on him for him to be my number one quarterback? Absolutely not. But I would grab him and pair him with the dusty old vet.
All right. Yeah, speaking about dusty old vets, we got dusty old reliable King Henry, you know what I'm saying? He's going at an ADP of 15.5 right now. Would you have a problem with King Henry going in the first round? Like we talking about going over their ADP. Would you take the leap of faith if you had like the seventh, eighth pick? You know you might not see him on the turn. What are you thinking in a snake draft? Would you bump Henry up from 15 to the first round pick in a 10-team league?
This dude is so crazy, man. I don't know. He's just like supernatural. He's like some kind of football alien. I remember we started this show, I want to say about 4 years ago, and he was one of our first episodes. And I predicted that he was going to blow his tire that year. Actually, he did.
You remember that? I remember that.
He did. He set out about 4 or 5 games, and I was like, I told you, man, you don't want to get caught holding the bag with King Henry. But since then, he has went on to produce every season. He fell into the fold with Baltimore last year, and he looked super explosive. That dude is like a runaway freight train, and you better get off the tracks when King Henry is coming. Me personally, I'm not going to draft him in the first round. I'm always fearful. I will never have King Henry. I'm always fearful of being caught holding the bag. And I don't want to do that, man, because when the wheels fall off, they fall off pretty quickly. But I can see somebody grabbing King Henry in the first round and having a super productive team, but it won't be me.
All right, man. Well, we'll see where that goes. I mean, maybe you want a little bit more youth, and maybe a lot of people are thinking that way. So let's go into our next two running backs. Obviously, Denver got a rookie running back, RJ Harvey. He's listed behind J.K. Dobbins on the depth chart right now, but his average draft position is 93. So it's being a draft that we're holding in Denver or whatever. Would you jump for an RJ Harvey who's going in the ninth round average? Can you push him up and justify a seventh or eighth round draft pick? Would you have to pay with that Denver tax?
Um, I don't know, man. I have to disagree with you on that. I think that Denver tax may actually push up RJ Harvey in a 10-man league to the fifth round. And with that, I would have to have a star caliber running back that I drafted before him. Now, I do believe coming down the stretch, as rookies do, RJ Harvey may be winning people leagues. But with that being said, that price is a little bit too high for me to be paying. But RJ Harvey is going to be extremely explosive, catching a lot of passes out the backfield, man. You know how Sean Payton uses his running backs, especially his pass catching running backs. RJ Harvey may have about 70 targets this year. And that's something that you're going to really want on your fantasy team, especially in PPR leagues. As a matter of fact, if you're not playing in PPR leagues and you're still in standard, step your standards up and switch over to.
Come on, man. Dress up, man. Come on. Put some lotion on your skin. You know what I'm saying? Like wipe your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, step to it presentable. Get some PPR. Like you're looking like a whole dust muffin out here. And that's not how we need you. We need you to look presentable. So when we bust your ass in this fantasy, that's just how it happens. But we'll keep the alliteration going. We went with Harvey. We went with Henry. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go right into Henderson. Travion Henderson for New England Patriots. That's gonna be one that's a room shaker when you draft him. How early do you take him? Travion's current over ADP is 73 overall. It's about like the third pick of the seventh round. Do you see a reason to take him a little bit earlier than that? Every time I see him on Instagram, he making plays.
I'm not. I'm not liking the whole thing with Travion Henderson. First off, he went to the Patriots, and I was like, he's automatically off my board. Then I started to warm up a little bit when he started putting down a lot of production in training camp. But then you see this man on the field. 100-yard kickoff return to start his career in preseason. Another
Mhm.
one run for 18 yards. He's averaging 18 yards per carry. The dude, that's so. Quite frankly, I got to move him up. I don't like it though, man. I don't like it. His ADP was in a real nice spot. Now he's getting steamrolled up. You may have to get by the time this preseason over, you may have to get Travion Henderson in the third round. Now he is a rookie. How much is he going to really be playing behind Ramondre Stevenson? But I don't know, man. Once you got that genie out the bottle, it's kind of hard to stuff him back in, man. So, Travion Henderson, he's a major target for me, but he may be going too early for me. I may not be willing to jump that early for him, man, but he is getting steamrolled up the ADP. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. I already have.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, it's one of those situations like where I know you're gonna find love. It just might not be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like in the third round, you definitely. I mean, you talk about like the Derrick Henrys and a lot of other people like that. Because I just got him in a draft at 19 for Derrick Henry and stuff. So if you're talking about moving up to the second, third round to draft him, that's gonna be really tough for Travion to perform this year, but every time you see him, he's performing this year. So I mean, it's just going to be tough to see where he ends up landing. Let's go from one rookie to another rookie. We'll move into wide receivers though. We got a boy that's my namesake, you know what I'm saying? My brother over there in Green Bay, Matthew Golden. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go ahead and talk about him. His average draft position is 101, which means he's the first pick of the 10th round. How do you think that Green Bay wide receiver position is going to shake out? And how do you think Matthew Golden will fare in Green Bay?
Number two. Green Bay has a whole bunch of number two wide receivers. Here's the thing, though, with Matthew Golden. They drafted him in the first round, a first round receiver that I don't know when was the last time Green Bay took a first round receiver. So they actually believe in him. He's going to carve out a nice role for himself, man. Matthew Golden, he is really explosive, one of the fastest 40 times in this past year combine. The thing with him, when he played in Texas, didn't have very much production, but he showed up in the big games. When you're
Mhm.
every game is a big game. So my thing with Matthew Golden is his consistency, man. Can he be a number one receiver week in and week out, man? Romeo Dobbs banged up, Jaden Reed banged up, Dontavian Wicks can't catch. They got Bo Melton over there, just melting butter on the sidelines. Christian Watson, he's damn near gone for the season. They have nobody else but Matthew Golden. So he has to step up in this situation. And he's a first round talent. If he don't get it done, if he don't get it done this year, he may not get it done any year.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still young. Like, chill out. I don't think we need to be that hyperbolic. Like, if you don't get it done this year, no, no. I mean, he gonna have to do something, but he gonna learn and grow. But I could see him having like a Malik Neighbors type year. Maybe going for a K. You know what I'm saying? A G, going for a stack. But I just couldn't really see him having a Justin Jefferson type year because unless like J Lo falls in love with him, we know J Lo do fall in love. I mean, Jordan Love, his name's Love for a reason. If he fall in love with Matt, you know what I'm saying, he might just keep throwing it to him and see how it goes because their running back position is still kind of unstable and a little bit unpredictable in that backfield just on production level. We know it's going to be, but on production wise, you never know what you're going to get. Let's talk about, go ahead.
Josh Jacobs, Josh Jacobs is steady Eddie, man. I mean, nothing super explosive, but I mean, he's just steady Eddie. He just consistently gets you the points, the yardage that you need. Like that backfield is actually pretty. I don't agree with you. Let me put it like that. I don't
All
agree
right.
with.
All right. Fair enough. It's still early in the preseason. I'm in preseason form. I don't have much to back up my opinion. I might have just gave an opinion that I didn't really believe. I might have forgot who Green Bay's running back was. So what? It's preseason. Let's get it going, man. While we in this preseason form, Marvin Mims Jr. was in rare form last year, and like you see from the Broncos shirts, we talked about the Denver tax. He's currently going in about the 15th or 16th round. Do you think he's worth 13th or 14th round with that Denver tax out here? Marvin Mims with the young Bo Nix is a dynamic player. If your fantasy league does anything for return yards, it's definitely somebody you want to look into. He's an all pro as a returner. What do you think, Jay Reese?
Due to the Denver tax, he's definitely going to steamrolled up in drafts. So you may see Marvin Mims go around 13th, 12th round because there's going to be a lot of people out here who believe in him. As far as I go, I'm one of those people who believe in him, man. Marvin Mims really came on down the stretch. Damn near won you a title if you had enough nuts to put him in your starting lineup, man. He had, I want to say, like 3 or 4 touchdowns in like 3 or 4 games, man. Marvin Mims really put up them yards and them numbers. My only thing is Deshaun Payton trust him. If he has gained the trust of Sean Payton and he's an every down player, he's always on the field, he's getting his snaps in, Marvin Mims is about to explode this year.
Yeah, he'll definitely have an explosive year, man. I think we kind of covered a good bit of them. I got another wild card for you. We got Marvin Harrison Jr. He's in the top 50 players this year. Last year, he was in the top 25 players. Do you see any reason that you should draft Marvin Harrison Jr. before the fifth round?
Before the fifth round, yes. It's a very concentrated passing games. It's Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride. That's the only people they got to throw to. Now you got to get him and Kyler Murray on the same page. That's where the problem is.
Mhm.
You got to stop running 4 verticals every other route. Let's get Marvin Mims, not Marvin Mims. I'm sorry, Marvin Mims still on my mind. Let's get Marvin
Yeah.
Harrison in the middle of the field. But Kyler struggles with that because he's so short. I need Kyler Murray Call of Duty because he falls off every time the new Call of Duty comes out. He turns into Call of Booty. Now he needs Marvin Harrison. They was already throwing the gold jacket on him before he even played a snap. He still ended up with 800 some odd yards and 9 touchdowns, a similar number to his father. He had a good season as a rookie, but he let you down on fantasy because they steamrolled him up to the second round. Now you're getting a major discount. You're going to be able to get him in the fifth round, and he may really break out this year.
Yeah, hopefully he does, man, because we all rooting for all of you guys, man, when it goes down. That's why we on here talking this shit. 'Cause if we don't make any good points, like I did in my Josh Jacobs argument earlier, we still believe what we say, and we going to get it in, man. Hey, cheers to the win. Y'all know what time it is, Beer Bros.
Boom!